This week's ride-along is in a 1981 Porsche 911 SC Targa. With me to talk about it is Rob Sass, publisher of Hagerty Magazine and owner of this fine vehicle. Tell us about the car. How long you had it?
Had it about 2 years. I bought it in Portland, Oregon, and drove it back to St. Louis, Missouri, about 1,800, 1,900 miles.
Wow, that was your first experience with the car. How'd that
First
go?
experience with the car, it went just fine. No problems, got about 26 miles to the gallon, and it was a fun ride. This is actually the fifth 911 that I've had, and in general, if you buy a nice one, they're pretty bulletproof.
So, Porsche's racing heritage still shows up in a street car like this, correct?
Yeah, and a couple of unique areas in the car. The first thing you notice is the big pie pan sized tachometer right in the middle of the gauge cluster. The other thing is the ignition switch on the car. You can always tell somebody's never driven a 911 before because they're fumbling with the ignition key to figure out where it goes. It's actually on the left side of the steering column, and the reason for that is it goes back to the famous race, the 24 Hours Le Mans, which actually used to start, I think, until the late 60s, with the drivers running up to the car, opening the door, jumping into the seat, and they'd be able to stick the key into the ignition with their left hand and put it into first with their right hand. You have to wonder how much of an advantage that extra half second or second really was over the course of a 24-hour race, but that's why it's on the left side.
So, do you ever personally, like just on your way to work, do a Le Mans start?
Never done it, but...
Because I feel like I could probably do it pretty well.
I feel like I'd like to see that.
Somebody call it.
Ready, set, go! There's our outtake.
So, driving experience. What's it like driving this thing, and what do you have to watch out for?
Well, a couple of things. I mean, it's one of the cars, or one of the few cars that I can think of that really will bite back if you do something foolish. The engine in the car is actually, it's in the rear, but it's actually behind the back axle. So the weight distribution of these cars is kind of funky to begin with. The one thing that you never want to do in a 911, particularly on any sort of a wet road, is if you go into a corner with a little bit too much speed, you don't want to hit the brakes. It's the natural thing to do, but it will virtually guarantee that if you're going fast enough, you'll wind up leaving the road, with the back end in front of you. So you need to be wary of that. Treat the car with some respect.
Tell us, what do you like about driving this car? What's your favorite part?
Part of it, it's probably the steering and the brakes. Back in 1981, when this car was new, it was a fast car. That was sort of the malaise era when there wasn't a whole lot of horsepower and cars in general weren't all that fast. Today, I probably don't think I'd want to get into a drag race with a well-driven V6 Honda Accord, but the steering and brakes are still as good as anything. Just incredibly sharp steering and fantastic brakes.
This car makes me feel like with enough practice, maybe I could win Le Mans someday.